Like I always say, life is so sweet when you understand the secret to create wealth. Take responsibility for your finance or get used to taking orders for the rest of your life. You are either a master of money or a slave to it. Your choice. I mean, your good friend, Engineer P.A.J. All right, let's discuss. Today, we're talking on, we're in chapter 21 on goals. So, we're discussing this book today. So, let's discuss about it. This book has helped us to achieve our goals, to know a lot of things that if you go through the other chapters, it has helped us to know that it is important to write down our goals. Now, what are those things that you want to achieve? Those things that you see you want to achieve, that you always dream about, you want to get the car, the house, the property, the businesses, you know, it's very important to write it down. The goal, it has helped us to write all those things down and then to also get to work. Now, getting knowledge, knowing something for just a knowledge is stupidity. But knowing something for action creates wealth. So it is not by knowing, it's that the action that you take that create the wealth. So when you know something just for knowledge, it is stupidity. But when you know something for action, it builds wealth. And then yesterday in one of the seminars I attended and I was lecturing, I said it is important to understand that you don't build real wealth by gambling. You build real wealth by understanding and then be persistent because challenge will come. So today's topic says persist until you succeed. So you must persist until you succeed. So no matter what is happening, you must persist until you succeed. You will not stop. Even in the midst of challenge, people will try to change your mind, trying to tell you negative word because that's what the world has to offer. But you, what did you see before going into the business? Or what did you see before doing those things that you want to do to achieve that goal you want? As far as you have seen it, you do not stop. You must learn that there is what I call persistency, and then you can always increase your level. And there are a lot of things that can help you to persist in doing it. And those are the things we're going to be discussing today. Persistence creates wealth. Persistence makes you to achieve the goal. So persist until you succeed. When you have that character to persist until you succeed, you will always succeed. I'm telling you, there are rooms for those who do extra. That's our last topic that we'll discuss. Those who do extra, there is no traffic for those who are on extra. Extra lane, extra time. When you give an extra time, there is no traffic at that time. There is no traffic at that time. And those who do extra gets more result. Therefore, you must persist until you succeed. So the question is, what is that thing that you really want to succeed at? You need to write it down. That's the first thing. So that thing that you really want to succeed at, is important to write that thing down. In this business, I want to succeed. I want to see I can increase in my finance. In my finance, I must increase. What should I do? You persist on. There's a learning. You're not giving up. First is to write it down. Then, when you write it down, you start talking about the problems and the rest that we're going to discuss today. What are the things that will hinder you from not achieving those goals? You know, these are processes that is important for you to understand before we start solving it and start with, then we're going to dissect on it. You understand? So we're going to dissect on it. It's very important. Now, he said, few things are impossible to diligence and skills. Great works are performed not by strength, but by what? Perseverance. So if he's saying great works are performed by perseverance, not by strength, it means your continuity. If great works are performed not by strength, it means just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing it. Learning, improving. Keep learning. Keep seeing the reason why it's not working. Learn to know that it's not working and then try new things in the same thing, but just continue till you succeed. Today, Edison Thomas, today we will not be celebrating him. He assuming he failed. But he did not fail. He only failed 10,000 times. And he said he did not fail 10,000 times. He said he has learned 10,000 ways of knowing its right way to create the light. So the light that we enjoy today was created by a man who failed 10,000 times. Go study about Elon Musk. You will discover that he has failed many times before he succeeded, before he was able to create that space, the SpaceX that we all enjoy today that made him billions of dollars. Hear me, in a great business, there's going to be a challenge. In a great idea, there's going to definitely be a challenge. The moment there's a great idea, that will come with challenge. If there's no challenge, you will be disturbed. The question is, or else you are not ready to be great. As far as you are ready to be great, it comes with its own challenge. And every great thing comes with its own challenge. The question is, are you ready to conquer that challenge? Or you want to give up when the challenge comes? How will it then be great when you are afraid to chest or to stand for challenges? The decision is yours. The ability for you to stand to win big is in you. There is no great, there's no great system that does not have a challenge. But persist until you win. You must persist until you win. You must do your analysis well. You must keep doing your calculation. You must solve the mathematics. It is very important. You must persist until you win. Okay? Alright, so let's discuss about it. Every great success in your life will represent a triumph of persistence. So this means every great success in your life will always represent a triumph. So this means if you're going through challenge, it is normal. If you're going through challenge in the business, it is normal. That is what it's trying to tell you here. Your ability to decide what you want, to begin and then to persist all through obstacles and difficulty until you achieve your goals is a critical determinant of your success. And the flip side of persistence is courage. So this means that you must persist until you win. In everything, there's going to be challenges, but your persistence determines the success. There's a business I'm doing, and I've been doing for years. And I'm not making the money. And my money keeps going inside. I mean, I'm talking about millions keep going inside. And they will say, it is time to give up. You have tried. My loved ones, everyone will advise me. But you can see, but you just need to give up. It's enough. Switch your money to another thing. I'm telling you. But I said no. I insist because there's something I saw. And this thing I saw it from the beginning before I enter into the system. That this is going to create me the kind of level of wealth I need to achieve. I know. But because of the challenges, I should give up? No. Remember, like I said, in extra time, there is no traffic. But one of the key to success is your level of persistence towards achieving the goal. But there is an important thing you need to understand. You need to understand Those things that are not making you to achieve it. This is where your level of knowledge comes in. Where you have a notebook and then you start writing down why. What is the challenge in this business? Why are we not moving forward? Remember, you are doing all these things because there's a persistence. So when you have that spirit of persistence to succeed, you will start analyzing it. But the moment you're analyzing it means you are not giving up. You are in this game until the end. You are doing this until the end. There is no giving up. The level of persistence is very important. Now, let's discuss about this. Perhaps the greatest challenge that you will ever face in life is the conquest of fear and the development of habit of courage. The challenge you will ever face is that to develop that habit of courage. It is not easy to be courageous. The courage to continue is not easy. When we say persist, sometimes we say push. Sometimes the word to say it is easy, but to be frank, it is not easy. But that is why you are in the game. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. If it was easy, everybody would join the business. If it was easy, you will see crowd involving themselves. If it was easy, but it wasn't easy. It is not easy. That is why there is no crowd in it. But this is where your courage, your determination has to continue. Knowing that yes, it is not easy, but I'm winning. Knowing that yes, it is not easy, but I'm winning. I will be consistent and I will achieve that goal. Knowing it is the key to winning big. Mm. All right. All right. How is right? That's what I'm trying to explain here. So, then let's talk about this. What are the things that will make you quit, and what are the things that shouldn't make you quit? What are those things? Number one, the conquest of fear. You see this fear. If you can kill this fear, it will make you persist until you succeed. Because fear are one of the things that stop us from achieving our goals. The fear. The fear of losing things, the fear of losing who you are, losing your money, the fear. Why? The fear of not achieving the goal, the fear of what will people say, the fear of people laughing at you. So the moment you kill that attitude of what will people say, you don't care about what people say, that is when your success starts. The day you kill the ability of I don't care what people say any longer. I don't care what you see in me. If you're looking at me in a negative term, I don't care. But what I know is this project, I will achieve it. And anything is going to cost me to achieve it, I am game. This is the process. This is the winning mentality. That is where they call persist until you succeed. So now, let's talk about this fear of a thing. It says, fear is and always has been the greatest enemy of mankind. Check your life today. There are steps you would have taken and would have turned your financial life around. But do your analysis, you will discover that one of the reasons why those goals were not achieved is because you are afraid that you will lose the money. You are afraid of different kind of things. That is why you have not achieved that goal. The level of fear. Go and do your analysis. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. That's what Rovers said. He said he was saying that the emotion of fear, rather than the reality of what we fear, is what causes us anxiety, stress, and unhappiness. You see this fear of a thing. Let's discuss it a little bit. What fear does, because while I'm talking, sometimes I just want to write because of the ideas coming in. You know, what fear does to us, once you are afraid, it it eats your peace, it takes your peace away. You see that fear? The fear, it eats your peace, and then it creates negative emotion. You know, it eats your peace, your anxiety. It is totally wrong. Anything that takes away your peace has to be worked on. So the question is, what is that thing that takes your peace? It needs to be worked on. It's part of the things that do not allow men to achieve their goal, the fear. Something that takes away your peace, something that disturbs you is fear. If you can work on the fear, you will go far. You see what fear does? You know, what you now let me just read some little. He said, when you develop the habit of courage and unshakable self-confidence, the whole world of possibilities open for you. Just think, what would you dare to dream or be or do if you weren't afraid of anything in your whole world? So the question is, what will you dare do if you're not afraid? If there is no fear in life, what are the actions will you take? What are those actions you will take to achieve those goals if you're not afraid? You ask yourself that question because you cannot be stopped when there is no fear. You are unstoppable. So the thing is how to eliminate the fear. You know that the fear can be eliminated. You can learn to be above your fears. Remember, what will you achieve when there is no fear? What are those things you will do if there is no fear? The question is even, do you have something to even do when there is no fear? Because if you do not have something to do, that is where the problem is. Many of us do not even have a project that we're working towards. So we keep aiming for wealth, but we don't have the real wealth that we're pushing for, or something that will help us to achieve the goal. Should I tell you another thing? There is no wealth for you when you do not want to create your own CEO. You don't want to become your own chief of executive officer. If you don't want to become a CEO, you don't want to own a business for your own, you are afraid of owning it, there is no wealth for you. Because you are afraid, you think that you cannot do it, you can't make it. What about there is no fear? What about taking those decisions without fear? Afraid of failing. The same thing, fear. Like I said, what about there is no fear in this world? What about there is no thinking that you will ever fail? What would you have done? Okay, let's eliminate there is no failure. Whatever you do, there is no failure. What would you have done? What action would you have taken if there is no fear? What will you become? What do you want to be? When you know that if you take this action, that you will succeed. Without fear, without saying, oh, I will not win. Will I win? No, they say, take any action, you will win. What will you take? You know, sometimes these are important things that you need to meditate on. You need to think, you need to calculate, and then you need to take actions. Your ability of taking actions matter in your level of growth. Please, when you're enjoying this program, it's important for you to comment. It's important for you to share and support us. Your sharing is part of what support us in the program. Subscribe, be part of us. Click on your notification bell so that anytime we come online and we're teaching, you'll be part of us, and we'll grow to the level at which we want. Now, the importance of this is because we always, like I said earlier, I said every great man reads. So what we did is we created a channel where you can always read every day. So because you are busy, we said, okay, let's read a chapter every day of a book. When we finish this, we enter into another chapter, another book, because it's important to always read. So we discuss chapters every day on until we finish this book. So when you listen, even while you're driving, you are listening, you are learning from it. At the end, you're telling yourself, oh, I've read one chapter of a book. It's important to always read. It's important to read for the growth of your life, for the development of your life. It's important. Now, what happened is that this great man, this is Brian Tracy that have raised a lot of millionaires. So this great man has spent years gathering the knowledge. So they put those knowledge that I spent years into a particular book and said, take this knowledge and apply it for yourself. So now when you're reading the book, what happens is that you're tapping from the knowledge, from their experience, and then you're taking action. So it's not by learning, it's by action. When you learn for knowledge alone, it is stupidity. When you learn for action, that's what creates the wealth. I will go. Right. So we talked about the conquest of fear. Then the second one is, how can you learn anything you need to learn? How can you learn anything at all you need to learn? Let's read a little so that you understand. Fortunately, the habit of courage can be learned just as any other success skill is learned. Any skill can be learned. This means the habit of courage can be learned because it takes courage to continue. It takes courage to be persistent to achieve your goal. It takes courage to start all over again. It takes courage to say, yes, I'm willing, I'm not giving up. It takes courage to persist in succeeding in that business. So it takes courage. So to do so, you need to work to conquer your fears. While simultaneously building up this kind of courage and confidence that will enable you to deal unafraid with an inevitable ups and downs of life. If I were asked to give what I consider the single most useful bit of advice for all humanity, if I was asked to advise, it would be this: expect trouble as an inevitable part of life. So if somebody is telling you to expect trouble as an inevitable part of life, expect trouble. My daughter is calling me. Then what will you do when somebody tell you expect trouble as part of the life? And then when it comes, hold your head high, look it squarely in the eyes and say, I will be bigger than you. You cannot defeat me. This is the kind of attitude that leads to victory. When you tell every challenge, I am bigger than you. When you tell every challenge, I am bigger than you, and I will cross you. Come on. I don't know the level of business you want to achieve. I don't know the kind of wealth you want. I don't know what you seek for, but you must be committed to it every day. There must be persistent in the things that you learn, in what you want to achieve. There must be hunger. The hunger is the part of the wealth you seek for. The persistent. Because when there is no persistence, there is no constant push. And then the result is going to be minimal. So as today is talking about persist until you succeed. What are those things that will limit you? And that is fear. And now we talked about it. What if you can develop the habit of courage? You can always learn to be courageous. The way skilled can be learned. The way skill is learned, you can always learn to have courage. And then when you are determined to win, there is nothing that will stop you. And that is when you have the courage. The courage to start again. The courage to keep pushing. The courage is a learning, is a skill. Remember, what is that thing that is limiting you from achieving your goal? What is that fear to become the CEO of a company? What is that thing that can make you become so rich and wealthy? But you cannot take a step because you feel that you can't do it. What is that thing that you're afraid of? Oh, your level of knowledge, remember, you write it down. Oh, I don't know how to do this, you write it down. But do you want to become the head? You want to keep following? Understand that your level of persistence matters in the growth of your life. So, understand the fear. Write it down. The things that you're afraid of, you're going to write it down. We'll discuss about it. The cause and the third one is the cause and the cure of fear. The cause and the cures of fear. The starting point in overcoming fear and developing courage is first of all to look at the factors that predispose us towards being afraid. So what are those factors that makes us to be afraid? In the business, I'm interested in business. In life, what is the fear? You need to write it down. You need to understand that fear that makes you not to take the next action. See, there is no big project that does not come with fear. If, what about? You know, yes, but you take the step. You don't care. If there is no fear, if they say there is no fear, like I said earlier, you are told that you will not lose anything. You are told that any action you take, you will succeed. What is that thing that you will do first? Has it ever crossed your mind? Then, when it crosses your mind, anything that crosses your mind, write it down. That means you can achieve it. Then, what is your fear? Ask yourself, oh, I don't have the money to start up the project. You write it down. It's part of your fear. Okay, then write it down. Money. Then the question is, then in this money, analyze it. How much will it take me to start? Just to start. First, do I even need money to start? Can I start by communication first? These are questions. The aim is to start. Then the persistence is what matters in your level of growth. The ideas, the writing, the coming together, the creating. If you are not persistent, you cannot succeed. That is why one of the things is the courage. Courage kills fear. So now, what are the things you're afraid of? As we know, the root source of fear is childhood conditioning, eventually destructive criticism from one or both parents. This causes us to experience two types of fear. These are first of all the fear of failure, which causes us to think, I can't, I can't, I can't. And second, the fear of rejection, which causes us to think, I have to, I have to, I have to. You just keep saying it that you can't because you're afraid of failing. And this came from from our parents. Now let's discuss this. It's very important because I want us to deal on this. It is important to write down your goals. It's important to write down. I want to be fast now, so I'm going to be very fast in this because of time. It's important to write down your fears. Now, what do you want to achieve? What are those things that you're afraid of? Write it down. Now, have a list, have a notebook. Now, the first thing is, let's say you want to start a project. Let's talk about it. You want to start a project. You want to start any big project at all. You write it down. So the first thing is, what are your fears? Analyze it. The first thing, write it accordingly. But just keep writing it, then later you rearrange it. What is this thing I'm afraid of? The first one that is very important. After writing it, then analyze it. What if it's not there? Okay, what can be solved? How can I solve this fear? The moment you keep solving it, you work on it, you analyze it, you will always get a solution. Then you start discovering that, oh, you are eliminating the fear. You start seeing courage coming in. You start seeing energy rising. You know, this is part of the challenges that I'm having, that I will have in this project. This is one of the challenges that this is the reason why I don't want to take it, because maybe I don't have the crowd, I don't have this. Okay. The question is, okay, this is part of the problems. How can I get the crowd? What should I do? How can I get the support? What are the things I need to do? You start asking questions. Write at least 30 questions in just this particular one, and then start solving it. See, now you are just asking the questions. Then, from the questions, you start discovering that, oh, actually, there's no problem in it. Let me give an example like this. There are courses that we are afraid of. Some of us that went to university, that went to school. Now, this particular course that we don't like, we are afraid of, we don't, and because we are afraid of, we don't give it attention. There are topics or subjects that we don't even give attention to at all. Then, because we do not have option, sometimes, because it is important that we need to pass that particular course, we start giving it attention. And we discover that the more we start giving it attention, we discover that, oh, this course actually, or this subject is not actually difficult the way we are looking at it. And the more we give it attention, we discover that, oh, actually, it is not that difficult. It's even easier than the rest that we have been working on. So the first thing is the attention you are giving to your fear. You need to give it attention. Study about it. Those things that I'm afraid of, write it down. Then study about it. Pay attention to it. Analyze it. Listen, everyone can be a CEO. Everyone can be rich. It is your determination and persistence will make you achieve it. Remember, we are discussing and persist to succeed. The determination is part of the key to your success. So the first thing is write down the fear. All right. So we have discussed on the conquest of fear. You can learn anything you need to learn. It's anything at all you want to learn. Anything as far that is courage. Courage is a skill. When you have that courage, when you learn to be courageous, you can learn anything. You develop your heart in learning. I'm telling you, nobody taught you how before. Nobody knows how to press a phone. You were taught how to press a phone, how to pick a call, how to dial number. You were taught how to go into Google, how to study. You were taught. If someone is doing it, teach me. It's a learning, the courage. You didn't just start this way. You were taught how to read. You can learn. You can always relearn. You can learn to be courageous. It's a skill. And when you have that habit of courageous, you always go far. Then this means you can become whoever you want to be. When you choose to learn, you can learn to become it. I'm telling you, it's a skill. That thing you want to achieve, you can learn it to achieve it. I was in one of I was in a meeting last night, and I had a meeting with one of my loved ones, and I looked at the project that they're building. I said, God, when these guys are building a multi-billion-dollar investment without anything, just with their laptop. And look at the courage, look at the belief. because they kill. Their fears have been worked on. Who told you you can't do great things? All right. Then you can learn anything you want to learn. Then that's the second one. And the third one is the causes and the cures of fears. Well, I will discuss. And the fourth one is fear and ignorance goes together. Fears and ignorance goes together. Fear can be caused by ignorance. When you have limited information, we may be tense and insecure about the outcome of our action. Ignorance causes us to fear changes, to fear the unknown, and to avoid trying anything new or different. Ignorance. It makes us to try things that it makes us to be afraid, to hold on and try new things. Ignorance. But the reverse is also true. The very act of gathering more information, more experience in a particular area gives you more courage and confidence in that area. They are part of your life where you have no fear at all because you have mastered that area. Like driving a car skills and selling or managing because of your knowledge and experience. You feel completely capable of handling whatever happens. You have no fear. The first time I entered my car, the first time I started driving, actually there was a symptom of fear. You know, when you're driving and then there's a car coming, you have to hold your steering very well because there's a car coming. You're afraid. But the more you keep learning, the more you master it. You're not, in fact, I'll let the cars be coming. You can even use one hand because you have mastered it. First is to master the courage to win. Have the courage to win. Master it. Be part of it. Whatever you are doing today, that you're no longer afraid of it because you have a level of knowledge in it. Your level of knowledge has increased. That's why I said, in any business you want to do, what is that thing that you're afraid of? Write it down. Write down the business you want to do. Then write down your fears. Discuss those fears. Master it. Ask questions about it. You will discover that the fears will start eliminating. You will discover that the fears will be eliminating, and then you'll not focus on the winning aspects. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But the question is, can we even sit to write down the thing that we want to achieve, to write down our project and write down the fears and then discuss it, seek for advice, solve all those things. Then imagine that there is no fear. Imagine there is no failure. What are those things that you would have done? Anything that comes to your mind, you can always do it that way. I'm telling you. All right, let's go because of time. Fatigue, both are coward of us all. Any factor that causes fear is illness or fatigue. So any factor that causes fear is illness or fatigue. When you are tired or unwell, or when you are not physically fit, we are more predisposed to fear and doubt than any when we are feeling healthy and happy and energetic. You know that when you're not healthy, you're like, God, I can't do it, I don't have the strength. You start giving up on your dream. When your health is not balanced, do you know that you can write about your health? I'm having good health. I have a good health. Now, what are the things that will make me have good health? What am I afraid of that will make me have a good health? That will make me not to have good health? You know, you write it down. You can have a good health. You can decide it. See, life is a decision. You can decide how many years you want to live and then be disciplined. First of all, write it down and analyze it. This means you can become that level of amount of money you want to make. I'm telling you. The more I tell you, I'm also telling myself, yes, we can make that kind of money. We'll do it. This is the reason why we have this book. The book is guiding us on what to do, and then we start doing it. It guides us. That is why today we discuss on. Then tomorrow we're going to end this book as the end, where we summarize everything that we have read, and then we say goodbye to goals. So your own is just to take your note and always go through what has been taught. It's very important. You just keep analyzing it. It's very important to achieve your goal. Are we together? All right, like I said, always drop your comments. So analyze it. Fear is one of the things that make you not to achieve your goals. All right, so that's it. When we are afraid, when we are tired or unwell, or when we are not physically fit, we are more predisposed to fears and doubt than when we are feeling healthy, happy, and energetic. Sometimes we can totally change your attitude towards yourself and your potential by getting a good night's sleep or taking a vacation long enough to completely recharge your mental and emotional bacteria. Rest and relaxation build courage and confidence as much as any other factors. Sometimes when you're having through challenges, you're having a negative thought and the rest. Sometimes rest. Sometimes take a vacation. Sometimes you can do something to boost your morale. Like there's something I want to do in the next 2 days. I want to take my loved one to the place. I said, I want to own this. We can own this. I just want to exercise the mentality. I'm telling you. I want to build that mentality. In fact, I'm doing it too. Yes, we can own it. I'm telling you. Life is a decision. You can achieve any goal you want. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Life is a decision. Life is a learning. Anything you seek for, you can achieve it. It's your determination. I'm teaching you, but I traveled. I actually traveled. You know what happened? I was seeing those things, those properties, those investments that I will own. I saw myself. I just like there's a trance. I just saw myself. As I was talking to you, I was just there. I didn't even know that I was even talking to you. I traveled. I was seeing those things. What I was telling my loved ones that I will own. I was showing, and just in the trance as I was teaching you. Sometimes it's important for you to be in a transit, travel from your mind, show the mentality, and then we'll build the wealth. The wealth is in you. You can decide to be very rich. It's just in you. Are you learning? Persist until you succeed. Persist until you succeed. I'm telling you. You just have to persist. You just have to. See, let it be part of you. Let that courage be part of you. I'm going to succeed. I'm going to write it down. Your goals, write it down. You know, everyone is afraid. That's the next one. Yes, an important point. All intelligent people are afraid of something. It is normal and natural to be concerned about your physical, emotional, and financial survival. The courageous person is not a person who is unafraid. No. As Mark Twain said, courage is resistance to fear, a mastering of fear, not the absence of fear. That means there's always a fear, but the courage of persistence. You gotta be courageous. You gotta persist. See, the more you show up, the more you eliminate your fear. The more you show up, the more you eliminate your fears, the more you conquer results. That's how it is. So this means I need to show up in a lot of things to achieve it. Then analyze your fears. This is what we have been discussing. Because of time, I want to be fast. So once you have recognized the factors that can cause fear, the next step is the next step in overcoming the fear is to sit down and take the time to objectively identify, define, and analyze your own personal fears. So it's important to analyze these personal fears that I'm telling you to write down. Then at the top of the clean sheet of paper, write the questions, what you are afraid of. Begin filling your own list of fears by writing down everything, even major and minor, over which you experience at your anxiety. It's important. Very important. Some people, dominated by the fear of failure, invest an enormous amount of energy justifying or covering up the mistake. They cannot deal with the idea of making a mistake. Others are preoccupied by the fear of rejection and so on, and sensible. Listen, when you are not taking responsibility for the results that you are achieving, you are giving excuses why you cannot do this. You are giving excuses that you cannot do this. Hey God, there is no wealth is not part of you. Listen, you must learn to take responsibility for the level of the result that you seek for. When you're not achieving anything, take the responsibility and ask question, why am I not achieving it? And learn and be courageous to continue. Your courage, it what takes you to the next level. Courage is what helps you to be persistent in achieving the goal. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Your courage. Courage can be learned. What is your fear? If there is no fear, what is that thing that you will achieve? I mean, like I told you, I said I was on a transit as I'm talking to you. I had to see those things that I will achieve. And I told my loved one just tonight, I said, life is going to be beautiful. Something great is happening. And it must happen. That's the belief. What did you believe? You do not allow the present situation to affect your thinking. You do not allow your present needs or challenge to affect your thinking, to affect your decision, to affect your mission. No, you don't allow it. Listen, because you're going through challenge does not affect, don't allow it to affect the goal or the vision that you have. No. Listen, because challenge will come, it is normal, but you must be courageous to stand. That is why you are the boss. The reason why the challenge comes is because they know that you were born to succeed. Yes. What will happen? And so, if it happens, what happens? I fail, and then what happened? It's not the end of the world, but I will persist. I'm not giving up. See, once the habit of fear dies, you will start seeing the level of your progress. I'm telling you. One of the reasons why we have not hit the nail is because there's a fear. So the fear we train us, hurts us a little bit because we are conscious of hitting it. So we are security alert. And because of more security, we cannot achieve the goal. We are too sensitive of not to fail. We are afraid of failing because of the more sensitivity of not failing is holding us back from the things that we'll achieve. If there is no failure, if there's no symptom of fear, will you have taken those decisions? Yes. If then take the decision. Like I said, what's the reason why I'm afraid? Analyze it and see how far. Set the priorities on your fears. What are the priorities on your fears? Let's talk about it a little bit. Because of time. How does this fear hold you back in life? Write it down. How does the fear hold you back in life? How does this fear help me? Or has it helped me in the past? There are some things. Has this fear helped me? Or has the fear giving you that courage? Because there are some things that fear has also done for you that you might not know in the past. Oh, let me tell you something. The fear of failing can also help you to be more knowledgeable. Because I don't want to fail, I'm afraid of being failing. I had to seek for more knowledge so that I will not fail. Sometimes in exam, we are afraid of failing because we do not want to fail in exam. What happens? We start reading and read more and give more time so that we can get more knowledge to stand and write the exam. Sometimes fear can be in your advantage of getting more knowledge to achieve the goal because you do not want to fail. You start seeking for more knowledge. So, as fear also helped you in the past, what would be my payoff for eliminating this fear? So, if I remove this fear, what will I gain? Now, you have these three questions. All you need to do is start analyzing them. The answer to the first question: how does this fear hold me back? Number one, before I even go into this place, he said something about he was afraid of being broke, being poor. He said many times that he was afraid of being poor. Let me just read through. He said, some years ago, I went through the exercise and concluded that my biggest fear was the fear of poverty. I was afraid of not giving enough money, being broke, perhaps even being destitute. I knew that this fear had originated during my childhood because my parents, who grew up during the Depression, had continually worried about money. My fear was reinforced when I was broke at various times during my 20s. I could objectively assess the origin of this fear. So he was afraid of being broke. So the question is, this is what leads to that first question. What is this thing that holds you back? What is this fear that holds you back? So the answer to it is, how does this fear hold me back? That was that that it caused me to be anxious about taking risks with money. It caused me to play it safe with the guard to employment, and it caused me to choose security over opportunity. So when you write down these fears, what is that thing that hold me back? He said that fear has cost him a lot to hold back things that you have done. The second one is, as fear helps you, that is that knowledge I talked about. And then the third one is, what would be your payoff for overcoming the fear? Then he said something, Brian Tracy. He said, immediately saw that I would be willing to take more risk if there is no fear. I'll be more aggressive in pushing my financial goal. I will start my own business and I will not be so tense or concerned about spending so much or having too little. Fear has cost us a lot. The fear has cost us a lot. Then he talks about practice make permanent. See, the more you practice, the more you eliminate fears. You can begin to process The development courage and elimination of fear by engaging in actions consistent with your behavior. See, when you practice every time, you kill the fear. So your practice kills fear. It eliminates fear. It makes you to be persistent. So because the more you practice, the more you develop ideas, the more you become better in it. So this means you can own a business. This means you can strive to become very big in achieving the goal. It means you can become that thing you want when there's no fear. Remember, you must persist till you succeed. You must persist till you succeed. No matter what it costs, you must persist till you succeed. It's very important in life. You don't stop. You don't stop when others stop. You just have to do it, like I said. When there is no fear, what will you do? When you do not have the symptom, when there is no failure, and you don't have a symptom of failure, what will you do? What are those things you will do when there is no fear, when there is no failure? If they say you can achieve anything, what will you do? Your ability to push matters in the development of your growth. The courage to begin. You must have this courage to begin. It's very important. Courage is what takes you to the next level. Courage is what kills the fear. Courage is what wakes your inner mind to achieve the goal. Because of time, I have to fast. The future belongs to the risk takers. You must always take a risk. You can take a risk when there is no fear. Because the fear will work on your spirit to fail. The fear will eat up your happiness and the energy, the doubt. And when you're going with doubt, it fights your results. So you must be courageous to kill the fear and focus on achieving the goal. The winning is inside of you. So you must take risk. You must understand what to do. You must write down, analyze, ask questions, and then take actions. Like the project I'm doing today, I'm asking questions, I'm writing, I'm preparing to take the actions. All right. Then learn from the masters. How do you learn from masters? From the book you read. It's important. You learn from the masters, you read books, you ask questions, you seek from advices from mentors. The book right now, we are learning from Brian Tracy, from his idea. Anyone that have succeeded in that business, seek for advice, ask questions, learn. See, I'm telling you, I don't know. That's why I call it set a project, write it a project. Call the name of the project, write it. Analyze everything. Then seek for advice. Then action is everything. If you do not take action in in everything that we have discussed, if you do not take action, don't expect results. So action is the key word to achieving that goal. When there is no action, there is no result. So it means you must always take actions to achieve it. Then self-discipline is the pure quality. It's not easy to be disciplined. It's not easy to be disciplined. I'm telling you. The discipline of I will do it. Even when I'm ready, I'm not ready, I will do it. I don't need to be ready to do it. I just have to do it because it's important to do it. It's called self-discipline. It's not easy to be self-disciplined. To tell yourself, I'll wake up, I will read, I will do this, I will go through this, I will walk through this. It's not easy, but it's important. Self-discipline can help you to achieve the goal. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Then, persistence and self-discipline in action. Perhaps the most important demonstration in self-discipline is your level of persistence when you are going through tough time. persistence in self-discipline in actions, persistence in true measure of individual human character. Your persistence is the fact that the real measures of your belief in yourself and your ability to succeed. Your persistence determines your own success. It helps you in your development, in you achieving the goal. You understand about this persistent of a thing. The common quality of success is history. Now, I'm hitting this point because you need to take all this point. The history of human race is the story of triumph, of persistence. Every man that has succeeded persisted to win. Every great man and woman has had to endure tremendous trials and tribulation before reaching the height of success and achievement. Go and ask everyone who succeed. Ask, and they will tell you their experience. The truth is, are you ready to also go through it? Because there is, like we said earlier, there is no great achievement without a challenge. That endurance and perseverance is what makes them great. So you must understand these principles and be willing to, if you want to change your family's life, you want to change your loved one's life, your family wants to enjoy the best of life, and it's going to come from you. You must be willing to pay this price, knowing that all this challenge will come. It is normal, but I want to face it. I'm ready. I want to be persistent until I win. My eyes see this level of wealth and growth, but I must build it. The challenge will come, yes. But I shouldn't put the blame on anyone again but myself. I should learn to be responsible and take responsibility for the level of where I am and where I will have to be. It is time to be disciplined and set up right to achieve the goal. Your guarantee of eventual success. What Churchill said, and what you will discover as you move upward and onward towards your goal is that persistence is the one quality that guarantees you the winning. Persistent, it guarantees you the winning. Persistence is the hallmark of success. I'm telling you, it's the hallmark of success. I've talked about persistent. By the end, everything is talking about here is about you taking action. Persistence is your greatest asset. I'm telling you. It is your asset. Write all these things down. You must persist. You must increase. You must face it until you achieve it. You will pass through disappointment. You will pass through all this, but you will always win. Just continue. Be self-disciplined. Continue. Be courageous. Seek for advice, and you will always win. Adversity is a test. Yes, challenges will come. All those are tests of you not giving up. A lot of things will come to test you, but that doesn't mean that you will give up. This is where you seek for advice. You ask questions. You have the quality, the strength, the courage. The very best quality of strength, courage, and character and persistence are brought out in you when you face your greatest challenge and your response to them positively and your constructive words. So when challenge comes, what comes to your mind? When a challenge comes, what comes to your mind? All these things are important. You can bounce back from challenges. I'm telling you. These are great things. I hope you enjoyed it. So tomorrow we're going to talk about actions. Take actions today, and that's the last thing. Just like a summary of everything we have discussed on this book. Are we together? Hope you enjoyed it. So today, write down. Do you want to become the CEO? You want to own your business? What is that big thing that you are doing that you were already giving up? Remember, persistence help you in continuity. And when there's a continuity, there's a result. Actually, I there's a gas station. I actually sometimes I want to go and fill my gas, and but they are not always coming out. Today they will come in. Next, if you go again, they are not there. So I end up not going there again because the time that I was using going there, I'll drive there and then they are not available. I have to now go. So I have to go to the place that they are consistent. So there was a time where I was looking for gas. The whole city has no gas. The whole city, the town don't have a gas. So I was driving and then I saw this gas station open. And then I said, "Do you have?" I gave them lights from my car. They said I should come in. I was like, "Eh? You people have gas? How? When the whole city don't have?" And they said they have, and they have been consistent for over a year. And I said, "But I've been coming before. And today you will open, tomorrow you will not open." And then they said that was then. And then you see, one of the reasons why we are not achieving the goal is because we are not consistent. And then when they discover the error, they have to now be consistent. Now that they are consistent, I will start doing that. We have made this mistake. We all. But sometimes we can retrieve our step and be consistent to achieve our goal. It's important and to help us. Hope you understand. You must be persistent until you succeed. You must be persistent. Okay, like I said, always like, subscribe to the channel. Just click on the subscribe button, that is all, and the notification button. But I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. Alright, see you tomorrow. Like I always say, life is so sweet when you understand the secret to create wealth. Take responsibility for your finance or get you taking orders for the rest of your life. You are either a master of money or a slave to it. Your choice. And me, your friend, Engr PAJ. God bless you. Let us know how you enjoyed this topic in the comments.